Hello, I'm James from Retrospective Scooters, and today I'll be showing you a small frame kit being installed into a small frame. We're going to start off with a hub motor and move through the various components like the control box, a battery plate, a battery gauge plate, the LED taillights, and a LED headlight. That is essentially all the parts of the kit. It bolts straight in, same way your engine was bolted into the bike, no different. Step 1 in installing a small frame kit, we're going to start off with the hub motor. All you'll need is the engine bar and the shock bolt. You've got to remove this when you remove the petrol engine out of the scooter. So just grab this hub motor. That is how the hub motor is installed. 2 bolts, that's all that altered. Now what you'll be left with after you've installed the swinging arm is 3 wires. That's the safety switch, the throttle plug, and the hub motor's actual wiring. All you're going to do with this is feed it through the carb rubber intake where your carburetor used to be, and it will end up under this cavity where your petrol tank used to be. Step 2 of installing the kit will be to run the 2 cables that we provide with the kit, which will be a clutch cable and a throttle cable. They are both the same thickness and will run from the headset down to this little black box here. It houses the clutch safety switch and the throttle. Now that you've run your cables through the Vespa frame, make sure they're located into the headset properly on the clutch side and the throttle stop. They will be coming out of your carb rubber intake towards this black box, which houses your accelerator and your clutch safety switch. Now open it. And as you can see, they are too long. You'll have to cut them down to length by just holding them in place and measuring. Give yourself a little bit of slack because this does move up and down and you don't want the cable to be pulled. Now with the cables, once they have been cut down and throttle cables located into the throttle unit, clutch cable into the area where the clutch mechanism is. This end of the cable for the throttle will connect to the accelerator here, and there's a little grub screw that we provide that will go in the headset. Now that you've got your inner cables run through and you've put your clutch lever back on, so the cable's nice and tight, you're going to start off with this spring, put it over the cable, run it all the way, and it should go over the adjuster over there. Now take the tip of the cable and stick it through this block. Now that you've hooked all of this up and tightened those two screws down, you'd want to make sure you have a gap here when you're done with it, so that when you pull the lever in, it can go back and come forward and have enough resistance on the spring to push the lever back itself. Step 3 in installing a small frame kit will be to do your wiring, your electrics. That's going to consist of the LED headlight bulb, LED strips for the tail light. You might need to change your brake switch if your brake switch is not DC. We do provide that in the kit. We're going to fit a 12 volt DC horn to this and just go through all the electrics. Now the wiring of your loom, normally you only need to use the 2 black wires, or 1 black wire actually, and the red wire. You can connect that straight to our kit, or you can earth the blue wire on our kit, which is earth, because your wiring loom will already be earthed to your frame if you've taken a petrol engine out. As this is the resto, we're just going to stick the 2 black wires into a Wago, connecting to the blue, and that will essentially earth everything we need, or connect negative to everything we need. You don't need the orange or blue. Really depends what's wired up in your bike. If everything was working perfectly fine when you took the petrol motor out, then just connect them to the red and it should still power up everything that was there. Now that you've fitted your LED bulb to your headlight and the LED strips into your tail light, everything should work. You can use a 12 volt battery just to test it, make sure all of your electrics are working the way it's supposed to. On this particular bike, I have fitted indicators and a phone charger. You can fit all the modern accessories to this with this constant 12 volt DC. So it's flashing. Step 4 of installing the small frame kit, you need to get your control box, which you're going to fit in the space where the petrol tank used to be. There are 3 phase wires, yellow, green and blue. They correspond with your hub motors wires, which would have fed through the frame earlier. You're literally going to just follow the colors onto the block. There is a plug sticking out of the control box, which marries up with another plug. No plugs on this box can be stuck in the wrong place. It's a 6-pin plug for the up motor, a 3-pin for the throttle, and a 2-pin for the safety switch. So you cannot put the wrong plug in the wrong place by mistake. Once you've placed your control box inside the scooter, where the petrol tank used to be, make sure that your wiring is facing towards the rear of the scooter and lead your hub motor cable, the orange cable, around the back of the control box, around it and out the scooter through the rubber intake. All you'll be left with is your battery lead. That should be left loose, as you have to plug your battery in, and make sure you've got enough play on your rear brake light wires over here, so that when you put your battery tray in, the wire can go all the way to the back wall. Step 5 in installing the small frame kit is going to consist of the battery gauge plate, which you see over here, and the battery tray itself. Now, first thing you want to do is get your battery gauge wires to be red and black. You're going to have this 2-pin Wago still left from your wiring with nothing in. Have a look at the colors. Where's red, where's black? Flick these orange levers up. That way the Wago is open. And you just stick them in and flick the levers back down. And that's nice and tight and secure. Now the next step, after you've connected up your battery gauge wires, take your battery lead itself, pull that towards the front. You want your battery gauge wires also running towards the front as well. You're now going to take your battery plate and install it. When you get this, there will be bolts in these 2 holes. You're going to have to secure this down. Slip it in like this. You want to be just in front of that little tab there, and it will fit. There is a cut out back there for the taillight wires, so just make sure they're in that groove and push back, and it fits the scooter perfectly. Now you're going to need a drill and an M4 drill bit, and drill 2 holes through. Those are the only 2 holes you have to drill throughout this whole process on the scooter itself. The next step after installing your battery plate would be to get your battery gauge plate again. Now it will have 2 holes on the top. They will marry up with your seat holes, but this plate goes underneath the body. So you'll put your seat on, put the M7s through, and then get 2 nuts and secure this plate underneath. The next step would be to take your brake cable, feed it through the adjuster on the swinging arm, and through the clamp, the bolt on the clamp we've provided. Once you've tightened all of that down, you can then solder the back of the cable over here right around and just give it a chop. That is how you install a small frame kit into a Vespa small frame. Just a quick recap. Start off with your swinging arm. Install that with the petrol engine used to be with the 2 bolts. Then gonna run your clutch cable and your throttle cable through the frame. Make sure they're in place. To the electrics next, which is the LED headlight bulb and LED tail strips, and just make sure everything works on the scooter in regards to the electrics. Your control box can be installed after that, put into place underneath the seat, and your battery gauge plate and your battery tray. Now make sure when you install that battery tray, you remember your battery strap. And after that, the final thing would be to connect your brake cable, double check the brakes, they might need a little bit of bleeding. And then, yeah, keyless key fob, switch the scooter on. Make sure your clutch safety works. When you click that, you'll hear a long beep. Click it again, and off you go.